Detective Elena Reyes stepped out of her unmarked sedan and looked up at the three-story brick apartment building, its windows glowing faintly in the early morning haze. A cold wind rushed down the narrow Brooklyn street, carrying the smell of rain and something metallic, something wrong. A patrol officer met her at the door. Victims inside. Male, mid-40s. Neighbor called it in around 5 a.m., he said quietly. And, detective? You'll want to see this. Apartment 3B was small, cluttered, and strangely peaceful except for the body lying beside the coffee table. A single gunshot wound. No signs of forced entry. No scattered furniture. No broken glass. Just a man who looked like he'd been surprised by someone he trusted. Elena crouched near the victim. Name? Marcus Halle, the officer replied. Accountant. Lived alone. An accountant. Quiet life. No known enemies. Except this was New York. Everyone had enemies. Some just hid theirs better. As Elena scanned the room, her eyes landed on a small blinking light. A home security camera, half hidden behind a shelf, still recording. Bingo. She wiped off her gloves and pressed the stop button. The device displayed a timestamp, 2:17 a.m., right around the estimated time of death. Elena, if we're lucky, the officer said. That thing caught the killer. If we're lucky, she echoed. The recording back at the precinct, Elena plugged the drive into her computer. The screen lit up with a grainy night vision view of Marcus's living room. 2:16 a.m., Marcus entered, yawning and carrying a stack of files. 2:17 a.m., a shadow appeared in the doorway, slow, intentional. Marcus turned, confused. And then a woman stepped into the light. Elena froze the image. Rachel Halle, Marcus's ex-wife. Reported missing 3 months earlier. Presumed dead. No leads, no signs, nothing but unanswered questions. But there she was, alive, armed, and angry. The next few seconds played out brutally. Rachel raised a small handgun. Marcus lifted his hands, pleading. Rachel shook her head, said something the audio didn't catch, and pulled the trigger. Elena leaned back in her chair, her stomach tightening. Why would a missing woman kill her ex-husband after vanishing for months? And where was she now? The chase by noon, a bolo was issued. Patrol units swept neighborhoods. Elena visited Marcus's office, his friends, anyone who might have seen Rachel. Most shook their heads, stunned she was alive. But one person talked. An elderly neighbor, Mrs. Callahan, remembered seeing a woman with a hood pulled low leaving Marcus's building around 3 a.m. Her walk, she whispered. I know people by their walk. That was Rachel. And where was she headed? Elena asked. Toward the old subway entrance on Brighton, the one that's been closed for years. A chill ran down Elena's spine. That abandoned subway line stretched miles beneath the city dark, unmonitored, forgotten, perfect for someone who didn't want to be found. The underground Elena entered the sealed station with 2 backup officers. Their flashlights cut through decades of dust. The place smelled of rust and cold stone. Detective, one whispered, pointing at footprints in the grime. Fresh ones. Elena swallowed. Weapons up. They followed the tracks deep underground, their footsteps echoing through the tunnels like ghosts. Suddenly, a voice drifted out of the darkness. Don't come any closer, Rachel. Elena raised her flashlight, revealing Rachel standing in an alcove, gun in hand, eyes wild and exhausted. Rachel Halle, Elena said calmly. Put the weapon down. Rachel shook her head violently. You don't understand. Marcus wasn't innocent. What did he do? Rachel took a shaky breath. He was laundering money for a cartel. When I found out, they came after me. I faked my disappearance to survive. But Marcus... He sold me out. They were going to kill me because of him. Elena felt the weight of Rachel's words. Was it true? Or the desperate story of a broken woman? Rachel, she said carefully, we can figure this out, but you need to come with me. No more running. Rachel closed her eyes. A single tear slid down her cheek. For a moment, Elena thought she would surrender. Then Rachel lifted the gun. But she didn't point it at Elena. She pointed it at herself. No, Elena lunged. A deafening bang filled the cavern. Aftermath paramedics carried Rachel out on a stretcher, unconscious but alive. The bullet had grazed her temple instead of killing her, thanks to Elena's quick tackle. In the hospital, she confessed everything: the cartel, Marcus's betrayal, her months spent hiding underground. Every detail matched evidence Elena's team soon uncovered. Marcus wasn't just an accountant, he was a clever one, and a dangerous one. As Rachel awaited trial, Elena sat at her desk, typing the final report. Justice wasn't always clean. It wasn't always simple. But sometimes, even in the darkest tunnels beneath a city of millions, the truth crawled back into the light. And sometimes that was enough.